welcome to Yoga with Dr. Casey, your first step to becoming a well-being. Today we're going to perform a chair yoga class, mainly intended for post-eating, maybe even a large meal, but definitely valid for any meal. So we're going to begin with our hips all the way back in the chair. Now you can use any type of clothing. I changed into my comfy clothes because I'm nice and full after my Thanksgiving turkey. But we'll begin to set into the practice with 3 deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more time at your own pace, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And on the bottom of that third exhale, if able, seal your lips and breathe through your nose through the remainder of practice. I invite you to gently close your eyes as you relax into the chair, softening the furrow between your eyebrows, unclenching the jaw, releasing the shoulders from the ears. Feel the weight of your upper body relaxing into the chair. Unclenching the hips, softening the knees, the ankles, and the toes as the full surface area of your feet remain planted on the floor. Perhaps noticing that when you close your eyes, the body begins to relax. Perhaps noticing that your breath rate is slowing and each breath is getting a little bit deeper. And because today is Thanksgiving, I want you to take a moment to finish the sentence, I am grateful for, and insert something that's relevant to you. I am grateful for the food I just ate. I am grateful for the people I spent the day with. I am grateful for my body's capability to participate in this yoga class. Whatever might fulfill that sentence internally for you. I am grateful for. Ruminate on that sentiment briefly. And then we'll gently blink open the eyes. You can leave your fingers on your legs or option to reach the fingertips to the floor. Option for palms to face your body or option for palms to face forward. I'll mirror you. Dropping left ear to left shoulder, only going as far as it feels comfortable. And keeping the head tilted, gaze down the left fingertips. Returning your gaze to center, we switch sides, right ear to right shoulder. And keeping the head tilted, gaze down the right fingertips. Returning to center, again, option to keep the fingers towards the floor, option to rest the hands on your thighs. We'll keep the teeth closed but not clenched. Lift chin to sky. And returning gaze to center, we drop chin to chest, but more so chest to chin. Keeping the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Option to stay still or option to gently rock head side to side. Or if a full head circle in each direction calls to you, utilize a range of motion that feels comfortable. We'll all meet with gaze back in center. Now, depending on the style of your chair, you might need to scoot your hips slightly forward as we bring hands together, thumbs touching the center of the sternum. And we rotate over the left shoulder, keeping both sit bones firmly on the floor and both feet firmly on the floor. using your exhales to rotate just a little more. Returning to center, we switch sides. Lower body stays planted, upper body now rotating over the right shoulder. Movement is from the base of the tailbone all the way to the skull. And together we return to center. Resting your hands on your lap, or option to bring the fingertips down to the floor. Again, checking to see if you're nasal breathing with the lips sealed. Make sure that the feet are planted. Even the pads of the toes are resting gently on the floor. Left hand comes to left hip, gently sunging the elbow tip behind you. Right arm reaches towards the sky. The arm might get straight, it might stay bent. It might be a little farther forward, a little farther out. Keeping that right sit bone on the floor, we lift up and over, side bending, chest more or less towards the sky. Gaze can be down, forward, or up. On your next exhale, take this top hand and bring it to the outside of your left knee, gazing down to the floor. We meet in center. Switching sides, right hand comes to the hip, singeing the elbow tip behind you. Left arm reaches towards the sky. Again, arm might be forward, side, straight, bent. Keeping that left sit bone on the floor, we reach up and over, side bend. Gaze can be down, forward, or up. As we lengthen the left side body, breathing in our opening. Your next exhale, this top hand comes to the outer edge of the of the right knee and gaze down. And we meet in center. Coming into hip hikes, we're just going to alternate lifting one hip versus the other. Hands can be on the thighs, option for hands on the hips. And we're just going to lift the left sit bone off of the floor or off of the chair. Now, it might not actually lift. We might just be weight shifting to the right side. I don't want to leaning though. You can see kind of with my belt line that I'm actually hiking my hip. It's almost like a side crunch. And we come back to center. Switching sides, now we hip hike on the opposite right hip. It may or may not lift all the way off your chair. But notice this C curve of my torso. I'm not leaning off of my chair. I'm doing kind of a half side crunch. Returning to center. We're going to flow by exhaling hip lift. Inhale, plant. Exhale, lift. Inhale, plant. Exhale, lift. Inhale, plant. Exhale, lift. One more time on each side at your own breath rate. So if you're breathing a little faster, you'll be moving a little faster. If you're breathing a little slower, you'll be moving a little slower. We'll all meet in center. Keeping those legs hip width apart, we want to plant the heels on the floor and lift the ball of the foot and the toes. Holding for just a few moments. And we gently set the toes down. So the ball of the foot and the toes, try to place each toe pad separate on the floor. We lift and lower. And you can even pair this movement with your breath as we inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. One more time. Now, instead of planting the heel, we're going to plant the ball of the foot and the toes as we lift onto the tippy toes, heels lift, and heels lower. So same breath, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Now we want to make sure the ankles aren't going out to the side. We want to keep that ankle alignment right over the big toe and the second toe. Only lifting as far as it feels comfortable. So the heels might only just hover from the carpet, and that's okay. Our bodies all move a little bit differently. We'll do 2 more repetitions of our heel lifts as we come back to center. Now again, we're going to plant the heels and move the ball of the foot and toes out and in. Out and in. Now if you need to move your heels a little farther away from the body to make it a little easier, you can tuck them in closer to your body to make this movement harder. Or you can have your ankles directly under your knees, which I would consider kind of the neutral position. We return to center. This time we keep the ball of the foot and the toes down, and we move the heels in and out. So our most frequent movement with the ankles is up and down for walking. But as you can see, there's so much translation in this other plane, in this frontal plane of the ankles. Snap, crackle, pops are normal as long as they're not painful, and we'll all meet in center. Scooting your hips all the way back on your chair. We're going to prop the heels in front of the body with the toes lifted. Alternate lifting that heel off of the floor. Now it may or may not get all the way straight at the knee, okay? As long as the back stays straight. So our tendency is to straighten the leg and drop the back. Keep the back upright and only go as far as it feels comfortable. Pace, alternating that kick on each side. We'll do 1 more kick on each leg, and we'll meet in center. Coming into our halfway lift, navel reaches towards the knees. We gently hinge forward. So the back is straight. You can keep your hands at your knees. You might be able to bring your elbows to the knees. You might be able to reach your hands towards your feet. But we're not rounding the back. We're keeping the back straight. And you notice the only hinge is coming from my hips. So you choose your hand position. Press your feet into the floor. And on your next exhale, we come to center. Now, if you have a decent height in the back of your chair, you might want to scoot to the middle of your chair as we prepare for cat and cow. I like to rest my hands on my thighs or on my knees, just to use my arms to help pull my pelvis. But you can place your hands wherever it feels comfortable. Keeping the feet planted on the floor, legs can be cinched together or hip width apart. We come into cow, dropping the pubic bone forward, navel comes forward, chest and chin lift, and shoulder blades squeeze back and down. We come into spinal extension, cow. Transitioning to cat, we drop the tailbone down to the floor, pubic bone lifts, rounding the chin towards the chest, spinal flexion, cat. So this movement initiates from the pelvis, but we're articulating every vertebrae from the base of the skull all the way to the tailbone. Option to choose one of these poses, or option to flow between them as we inhale cow, chest and chin lift, pubic bone plants to the mat or to the chair. Followed by cat, tailbone drops, chin comes to chest, rounding into spinal flexion. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Inhale and exhale at your own pace. You can even close your eyes to really feel the movement between each spinal segment. And we'll all meet together in seated. Returning to our halfway lift position. So we're only hinging at the hips. Navel reaches towards the kneecap. You might get your hands to your knees. You might get your elbows to your knees. From this position, we're going to plant the full surface area of your feet into the floor and attempt to hover the hips. So you might just be pressing with your feet in the floor and you might not get a lift. You might be able to hover your hips over the chair. Whichever position you've reached, we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll all meet in our upright seated position. You can gently tick-tock the knees side to side. Returning to center, we repeat our hip lift position. So reaching the navel towards the kneecaps. You might have hands at the knees. You might have elbows at the knees. If you'd like and you have armrests in your chair, you can even reach your hands back to those armrests. But in this position, we want to keep the chest bowed to the floor, almost in that parallel position. Together, option to push through the feet. The hips may or may not lift as we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips release. Now we return to our upright position, just gently moving the knees side to side. And one final time, option to stay seated and rest, or option to halfway lift, reaching that navel to the knees. You can come with hands at knees, elbows at knees, hands at armrests, and together we push through the feet. You might weight shift, the hips might lift as we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Coming to an upright position, gently navigating those knees side to side. We meet in our center seated position. Again, I recommend scooting a little bit forward on your chair so that you can bring your leg into a wide leg position. Now the width is going to vary significantly person to person, so you might be just ever so slightly wider than hip width. You might be at 45. You might be all the way at 90. The most important thing about this position is that your knee is over your ankle. So if the knee is knocking in, if the knee is cowboying out, you need to adjust your foot position so this vertical alignment is present. You can change the width of this position at any time. With your pelvis, we want to make sure that the tailbone and the pubis are equidistant on the chair. So we want your full pelvis on the chair, even with us being in a wider position. So if you feel like you're sitting on your tailbone and rounding down, or you feel like your pubic bone is pushing down and you're in an arched position, we want to try to find a happy center. From here, we bring the left hand to the left knee, or option for left elbow to the left knee as that right arm reaches towards the sky. It might get straight, it might be bent, it might be a little farther forward, depending on your body. Gaze can be down to the floor, forward, or up to the sky. We're keeping that right hip down as the right hand lifts. Nice, easy breaths as we're lengthening the body. We exhale to center and switch sides. Option for hand to knee, or option for elbow to knee. Followed by reaching the left arm up to the sky. Again, it could be bent, it might be straight, but that left sit bone stays on the floor. Gaze could be down, forward, or up. Breathing as we're lengthening the body, keeping that wide hip position. And on your next exhale, we come in to center. Coming into starfish, we reach both arms up towards the sky. Arms might be bent, arms might be straight. Gaze can be forward, or option to gaze up to the sky. Your next exhale brings the arms down and returns your legs to hip distance, gently moving the knees side to side if you would like. We return to center again, scooting the hips towards the back of the chair, replanting your feet firmly on the floor. Bringing your arms into a Tadasana or mountain pose position. Option for palms to face your body, or option for palms to face forward. From here, we make backward circles in this low V position. Now, option to continue making the circles in this low V position, or option to work your arms up into a T position. Now, option for arms to be straight, option for arms to be bent, option to bring the arms a little closer in front, or option to open the arms a little bit wider. You can stay at this T position, or option to bring your arms into a high V position. Again, arms can be bent, arms can be forward, arms can be back. And on your next exhale, we return to our mountain pose position. One more time, we begin with circles in our lower arm position. Option to stay here with arms straight, or option to come to a T position, arms straight or arms bent. You can choose how big you want your circles. Option to stay here, or option to reach the arms overhead. Again, arms can be bent. Option for arms straight. And on your next exhale, we return hands to the thighs. Now, if you've ever taken one of my classes before, I love to include some coordination. So we're going to alternate pancakes, flipping the palms face up and down, up and down. And I want you to gradually get faster and faster until you're flipping your hands as fast as you possibly can. We're going to go for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Taking a moment to feel the warmth and energy that muscle activation has created in our body. Maybe even taking an open mouth exhale to release some of that heat. We bring the arms back into that Tadasana mountain position. Again, option for palms facing your body or facing forward. And we'll take a breath in as we bring the arms overhead, option for gaze to follow, bringing hands together and ending in our prayer position. Preparing for Shavasana. You can rest your arms in any position, your lap, your legs reaching down. Scoot your hips all the way back into the chair. And you can use that back of the chair to gently recline. I invite you to close your eyes as we take 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more time at your own pace. And on the bottom of that 3rd exhale, if able, seal your lips and breathe at your resting respiratory rate. I invite you to close your eyes, gently releasing the furrow between your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Unhinge the elbows, the wrists, and the fingers. Unclench the hips and release the pelvic floor. You might even feel the legs roll out to the side. Soften the thighs, the kneecaps, the ankles, and the toes, resting all 10 toe pads on the floor. With each exhale, feel more surface area of your body softening into the chair. I am grateful for. You can insert something new. You can repeat your sentiment from the beginning of practice. I am grateful for. I am grateful for. Taking a few moments to bask in the present moment of your gratitude. Reawakening your body as you brush your thumb pad against your index fingers, followed by your middle fingers, your ring fingers, and your pinkies. Rolling your head to the left, moving your head to the right, returning to center. Taking a full body stretch, breathing in and out. Transitioning your hands back to prayer center, placing your thumbs right at your heart. Moving your thumbs up to your 3rd eye center forehead. May your mind always be clear. Thumbs to your lips. May your words always be kind. And thumbs to your heart. May your heart always be filled with love and kindness, not only for others, but also for yourself. May you be rested, digested, and have a very happy Thanksgiving. Namaste.